Some is she alright though? Like she be giving me like Bad Batch vibes. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like got a bad batch. You know that Chris Tucker shit. That that smoky shit. Like, you know what I mean? One of them ones. Like, yo, chat, what's going on?
The one.
Amanda Seals. I don't know if she's losing it these days. Yeah, I don't know what really happened to Amanda Seals. Look like I don't know if she going through it or what, bro. This week. Okay. All right.
What's up, everybody? I'll be in.
Now, look like she's beefing with Charlamagne the God. I thought Amanda Seals was like there's a bunch of like little black chicks that's in that sphere that's mad woke. Like, they're kind of usually part of Charlamagne's posse. Like, when I mean posse, like, they fuck with Charlamagne. Shorty looked like she is defecting, and I don't know why, but I'm interested in finding out. I don't know what's going on. This is her from yesterday.
Do I have insurance on your legs?
What the fuck?
No. Why would I have insurance on my legs? What was one of my favorite interviews? You mean that I was interviewed or I interview people? Me being interviewed or me interviewing somebody?
Is she alright though? Like, she be giving me like Bad Batch vibes. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, got a bad batch. You know that Chris Tucker shit. That smoky shit. Like, you know what I mean? One of them ones. Like, yo, chat, what's going
on? These will be for sale when I'm on the road this week.
Nah, this not the same lady. It's not the same lady, y'all.
No, I did not find a venue in Oakland. Oakland got mad at me for, saying the truth. So I said, oh, y'all got it. Shauna, you're not me. Oh, those people. The gateways. Do you feel you have been validated with your experience as a human and artist in the industry? Of acknowledgement. Same, Adiza. The feeling is mutual. Charge the Democrats. Joe Biden or Joe Manchin. And she, he's read books. Oh, however, from what I understand, what you're saying is do I feel like I did, I went to the industry and I did what I needed to do? I mean, yes and no. I went to the industry to achieve a certain level of acknowledgement. Same, Adiza. The feeling is mutual. And I do feel like I did that. However, I think it was only to a certain extent because basically once
Come on.
Why would I do a podcast with Charlamagne?
Whoa.
Why would I do a podcast with Charlamagne? We had great chemistry until I realized that he was a ridiculous person and he was a snake. So then we don't have great chemistry anymore.
Holy. Now, only reason I'm even watching this is because these people, I've always said, I think Charlamagne got a great network. And I think Charlamagne has helped some of these extra pro-black people get in positions. And when anything has ever happened, for example, you get that hating ass nigga Mano trying to say some shit about me. You don't see any of my peers. They wouldn't be like, nah, we fuck with Ak. Hold on now. Because really, I don't have peers. I have peers, but I don't have a posse that's in the industry. I really only have my audience, right? Charlamagne has he has a couple of them. You know what I mean? There's that black lady. She be sounding like a lawyer. She be sounding like fake smart type shit. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about though? I noticed that with Charlamagne. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. I think Charlamagne created a web of people that he helped put on that when shit happens to him, it's like Jay-Z. You know why Jay-Z's untouchable? Nobody is going to stand. Like, you ever see when we're seeing the loudest shit about Jay-Z, nobody want to talk about it? This always happens, right? Like, all of the people or a lot of people that have been positioned in the media got a leg up from him, or, they fuck with him. Like, he made sure he put people in position, and like he has a posse. Like, people defend him. So it works to his benefit. I think Charlamagne learned that, and he, Angela Rye, like Angela Rye. Like, Charlamagne has like a group as well, and it's mostly like a bunch of pro-black woke motherfuckers. Not all of them are in hip hop, but they fuck with him heavy, and they also fuck with him because he brings them into the hip hop space. He's used his brand to elevate theirs, and it's just a posse. I thought she was part of the posse, low key. So when I'm seeing her say shit about Charlamagne, I'm like, yo, did she get kicked out the whip? Like, what's happening? Feel me? And I keep telling you, she's doing that smoky shit. I don't know what's going on. So I just want to know.
He's also not an intellectual. Like, he's read.
Somebody say I got Flacco. Here's the thing, because this is the important, and I'm glad you said that. And shout out to Flacco. What I'm saying is, no, like all the new media dudes fuck with me, like Traplo Ross's, Flacco, they do. The difference between like what, how do I say this? Sure. The difference between the people that y'all talking about with me, Flacco or whoever, Angela Rye will be on CNN. Like for Jay-Z put a bunch of people on and then put them in powerful positions that he had influence at. You get what I'm saying? Like, Flacco would be a dope, you can say posse or whatever, if I had the power or authority to put Flacco on, like, I don't know, the Joe Budden podcast or something, you know what I mean? Or put him on, put him on some fucking network, right? That's what I've realized, and I've given Charlamagne a lot of credit for this. Charlamagne put these niggas on, like literally put them on, right? Like, he put them in positions to the point where they became almost like, they're like a defense squad, but they're a defense squad on huge platforms, not just their own, right? Like when he found that bum Taxstone was just a hood nigga trying to kill people. I mean, ultimately he did. That's why he's in jail forever. But he found him at a local bodega, and then he put that bum on MTV. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's helped people like that. Like, like Charlamagne has like an unlimited pass up at MTV. I don't know if it's still anymore, but he did. He would put people on that platform, and those people are indebted to him, right? Like, it's even, there was a time when people thought that Charlamagne got too PC, and, Schultz is popping off, and people felt like, damn, why Schultz don't just focus on Flagrant 2, which was doing massive numbers, more than focus on Brilliant Idiots. And no, he's forever indebted to Charlamagne, right? Like, I do believe that Charlamagne has people indebted to him, and I think Jay-Z as well. By the way, there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying that I believe these people do. I think that's dope, because eventually I got to start doing that too. You know what I mean? For the full takeover of the industry, but we got to do it an independent way. The way I'm realizing is that everybody that you would consider, if you could consider I have a posse, yeah, maybe we're inspired by me, but we all just have YouTube channels, right? And there's no like power play to be done. Let me tell you what a power play is. If one of the new media guys, and I'm hoping, I guess I've been in that position at times. If one of the new media guys became like the head of music or the head of music, hip hop at YouTube or something, you know what I'm saying? That's a power play, right? So here's the thing now. That person, and that's how Jay-Z uses people, right? Jay-Z, when you look at the Rockefeller tree, he put them niggas, not really, because they did their work too, but they all fell in powerful positions, right? So you got this guy over here, he's running that label. This guy over here, he worked for this DSP. This guy over here, he's the head content guy at that media company. So their power basically exponentially expands to eventually, when needed, defend Jay-Z or Roc Nation's interest if there ever is a time that it needs defending. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing I was saying with Charlamagne. Charlamagne utilized, like he had carte blanche at MTV when everything with Charlamagne was a go. What he did was he took the bum off the bodega, which is with Taxstone. Hey, you get on the show. I think Taxstone was down to kill a nigga for Charlamagne. I think Charlamagne knew that nigga was a crash out. Honestly, I promise y'all. I think Charlamagne only fuck with him just to be like, all right, bro, one day I might need you to clap a nigga for me. Stupid ass niggas just clap the wrong nigga, I guess. I don't know. Rest in peace, Bangin. But yeah. And then I think Charlamagne helps out the Angela Rye, because respectfully, I don't be trying to listen to these motherfuckers, bro. Like, I used to be watching even Brilliant Idiots, or I'm watching like Breakfast Club, and I'm like, yo, another Angela Rye interview, bro. Like, yo, what are we doing, bro? Like, I'm watching the Breakfast Club. I look at my notification. I'm like, bro, another. But I can't knock it. He's putting on his squad. He puts on his squad. They get like a correspondent role at CNN or MSNBC. That might turn to some other shit. Later on, they put out a book together. I think, it's power plays. I always talk to Charlamagne, and Charlamagne always say this. When the Complex puts out the list and the list is powerful, I don't know, what is it? Best media? I was 2 this year or whatever. Was I 2? I can't remember what that was. Anyway, when they it was 1. Wait, was I 1 this year? I don't even know. The last media list, what number was I, chat? No, it was 2, right? Yeah, I was 2. Okay, yeah. Whew. Okay. When they put out these lists, and I spoke to Charlamagne about this bunch. He's like, yo, Ak, he usually sends me a different list. And he's like, yo, Ak, this is what true power is. And I think on face value, some people might take that as hate. But that's not hate. He's not hating on the list. He's always on the list. Like, not like top 3, but he's on the list. But when he's talking about power, he's talking about, yo, I could go get this person a show, or I could walk this person into fucking CNN and have, like, that is power. And I think that's important. So anyway, that's what I was talking about, the posses and shit like that. Like, those are the real, when you start getting higher up in the game, you start realize a lot of these powerful dudes, they get a posse. But they use their power and influence in putting people wherever they need to be done or be put. That's their influence. Anyway, I'm kind of getting long-winded here. But I said that to say, Amanda Seales, I always felt like she was one of them. Wasn't she on Guy Code? I felt like her and Charlamagne, kind of, like, I was never trying to ever see her, no disrespect. Charlamagne would give her visibility, which I would usually think that's the posse move, that you would then later defend him in case he ever needs to be defended on some Jay-Z shit, you know what I mean? But I see Shorty deflecting, so I'm now wondering what the fuck happened.
From what I understand, what you're saying is like, do I feel like I did? Yes and no. Like, I went to the industry to achieve a certain level of acknowledgement. Same, Adiza. The feeling is mutual.
Okay, come on. Now.
And I do feel like I did that. However, I think it was only to a certain extent because basically once why would I do a podcast with Charlamagne? Why would I do a podcast with Charlamagne? We had great chemistry until I realized that he was a ridiculous person and he was a snake. So then we don't have great chemistry anymore. He's also not an intellectual. Like, he's read books. He's not a dummy, but he's not intellectual, and he don't got no backbone. He sits here and he regurgitates the same crap. And the people that he does challenge, like, remember when he challenged Kamala Harris? Remember when she was on his show and he was like, so who's actually in charge of the Democrats? Joe Biden or Joe Manchin, and she black womaned him and started saying like, no, absolutely not. He didn't even come back because he didn't have no way to come back at her because he didn't know anything further than what he said. And
yo, Charlamagne, this is a perfect time to tap. This is where you tap in your Luca. Angela Rye, this is where you get on. This is your job to dismantle this right here.
then they have people on the show and they allow them to just talk their shit, and they don't have the actual knowledge and the actual intellectualism and or the actual backbone to be able to check them and reveal the nonsense that they're spewing. And whether that's Larry Elder or that other broad or the guy from the ADL, etc.
Now, Larry Elder did drop 70 points on him. I can't cap with you, but I think Larry Elder will drop 70 on her too. And even matter of fact, I think they brought in Angela Rye for Larry Elder. Wait, was it? And he's still giving the fucking beats. Hold on. Anyway, go look up that Larry Elder interview at the Breakfast Club.
Like, stick to rappers.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have been really impressed by Charlamagne's depth. Pause. Whoa, that sounded crazy. I've been impressed by his depth in... I think he's gotten really, really better at political commentary. Now, at first I was skeptical, and I thought it was gonna be outside of his realm. Here's why. I know Charlamagne is not a stupid nigga, but I know Charlamagne plays a stupid nigga on Breakfast Club, and no disrespect. What I mean by that, like the low hanging, like Charlamagne is still acting like he can't pronounce words. Like, come on, bro. Like, you're 40. Come on. I love Charlamagne, by the way. This is no diss, right? So, but like, that's for comedic relief. That's for entertainment. When I talk to Charlamagne, I was like, he's a very intellectual, smart guy. Like, you know what I mean? Charlamagne be like, yo, what that word mean? Like, you know what I mean? But that was part of a shtick, right? Like, that was like, it's kind of like sniffing seats. Charlamagne is highly educated, right? Charlamagne is a writer. He's an author. He reads a lot as well. He learns. At first, I thought he wouldn't fare well in politics or political commentary if he didn't shed this, like, you know, almost willfully stupid, you know, shtick that sometimes he utilizes on the Breakfast Club to get jokes, because people don't like hearing ideas about intricate subjects from people they don't feel are smart. And that's when I realized, I'm like, no, he knows how to either balance it, or he clearly could erase that shtick where people don't think of him as, yo, why am I listening to Charlamagne? You know what I mean? I actually listen to Charlamagne for political commentary, and I think a lot of times I've been, you know, I don't know. Obviously, I don't get too much into politics here because I just think it's too divisive. And everybody know I fucking voted for Trump, so like, I don't want y'all to be like I'm trying to push Trump on y'all. So I don't even try to talk politics too much. But I listen to Charlamagne's, like, you know, political commentary these days, and, you know, within the realm that I'm comfortable with knowing about it, he be spot on. Charlamagne know his shit, which I didn't think he would be that type of person, so I got to give him his credit for that. So I actually, you know, I'm going against what Man the Seal says. I don't think Charlamagne is stupid, or I don't think Charlamagne is, you know, should stick to rappers. I think, honestly, I think Charlamagne is one of the most important black voices when it comes to politics. This is going to sound crazy. I think Stephen A. Smith is too. Stephen A. Smith is a couple levels above, but we're getting to realize some of the loudest voices aren't political voices. And you know what it is? I think people want to hear political commentary from people who aren't political analysts, just sitting there kind of regurgitating talking points. Not saying that he's not regurgitating talking points at some point, but at least he speaks in layman's terms. He'll speak as if he is you and not speak as if he's just a programmed drone robot. And that does matter. The way how you communicate, even the same regurgitated talking points, does matter.
Yes, Andrew Schultz can say whatever, and then he depends him. So, go for it, Playboy.
I love Andrew Schultz.
But that's not my people's no more.
Wait, is he like disowning? He's disowning Charlamagne over Andrew Schultz? What? Everybody been know that he's been doing a show with Andrew Schultz. What's the problem?
I don't do Christmas anymore, so my mom doesn't do Christmas anymore.
Okay, anyway. Charlamagne, man. You got to put one of your pit bulls on the team to put this fire out right here. But Amanda Seales, she seems like every time I see her online, she's always complaining. Like, it's like, woe is me. Somebody did me wrong. Somebody's not doing whatever. Like, I've never seen her say, hey, listen, I'm very confident. I'm happy. I'm fighting for so-and-so, but I'm not grumpy. Like, the person who always got something to say about somebody else, at some point you start saying, maybe the problem is you, right? So I'm getting like that common denominator syndrome with her where it's like, hey, listen, if you're kind of coming with gripes about people consistently, maybe we got to start looking at you, right? All right.